However, the big part about demons is also transferred into the other 9 Primarchs we didn't talk about, which are the Chaos Space Marines.
Oh, yes. Argotol.
So Horse and all of his boys, all of them in the Primarchs, they have all also become Chaos Boys. And
Cringe. Cringe.
they all have their own special Chaos Legions, specializing in so many different things, just like the Adeptus Astartes, the Angels of Death, the regular Space Marines. Chaos Space Marines aren't a whole lot different than the regular Space Marines. They have the same armor, generally the same training and toughness. They just specialize in different kinds of things. And also a lot of the Primarchs have ascended into greater demons? They're demon Primarchs at this point. Gigantic, horrifying.
It's kind of dumb because some of the demon Primarchs don't make sense. Like, some of them should have just been, okay, I'm not gonna fall to chaos, but I'm still gonna be a traitor. That's my opinion, though. Like Lorgar, that makes sense because he needed to hold his dad's hand all the time. So when he was upset that he found out his dad wasn't as good as he thought he was, I mean, to be fair, a lot of bad stuff happened. But, like, that makes sense, but some of the other ones don't make sense. Like, Peter Turbo, I don't know why he'd listen to the Chaos Gods. I feel like he'd be, like, all by himself. Like, he didn't like people telling him what to do, and he was mad that his sons were getting murdered, and they were dying horribly. Not murdered, that's not the right way to put it, but dying in battle. So, like, that's my opinion. Yeah. No good guys in 40K.
Man-demon hybrids that are pretty awesome, if I'm going to be honest. They look really, really cool. But them and their associated legions that they are a part of are all kind of going out there and causing a large ruckus for everyone else.
A ruckus.
Considering the raw strength and firepower of a legion of Space Marines, imagine that entire legion just converting to chaos and immediately fighting you. It's generally pretty horrifying. There's a lot of them, so I got to write them down. But you've got the Emperor's Children with Primarch Fulgrim, loyal to Slanesh. These people, they are some messed up people. They're just sensory overload, tons of drugs, tons of torture. And I think Fulgrim is a demon Primarch right now, and
that one makes sense too.
I am terrified to see what that man looks like, at least on the tabletop, because Emperor's Children are not good people. You've got the Iron Warriors, which are kind of like opposite of the Imperial Fists, with Primarch Perturabo, I believe is his name. They're chaos
Peter
undivided.
Turbo.
They just kind of serve chaos in a general aspect instead of choosing one of the 4. But the Iron Warriors are big on the siege and fortification, and they're basically entirely against the Imperial Fists and a major rival. Perturabo, I believe, is also still alive, and I'm also very interested to see what he looks like, because Demon Primarchs are badass. You've got the Night Lords with Primarch Conrad Kurz. Conrad Kurz is dead, which is good because he's a sick fuck. But the Night Lords are generally about terrorizing people and terrorism. They're generally about fear, and rightly so. You've got the World Eaters with Primarch Angron, still alive, also excited to see. Angron, if you think you've known an angry
he's back
person,
now.
Angron is the
He just comes
son of a
back
bitch you
every
will
time.
ever know. Angron removed parts of his brain that didn't make him angry, so he could be angrier. Angron, fucker's mad. You've got the Death Guard with Primarch.
That was
Mortarion.
he
They
didn't.
actually have their own
He didn't
special
make that
codex
choice.
and their own major army on the tabletop. Mortarion himself is actually one of the models, and look at him. Look at him. It's so cool looking. Of course, Nurgle based, obviously. So very slow, but very tanky. You've got the Word Bearers with Primarch Lorgar.
Argotol.
Lorgar is, I believe, still alive. I don't know what's up with him at the current moment, but the Word Bearers are generally the people who caused all the major problems in the beginning.
Oh, and by the way, I saw someone's comment that says, where is it? There's a lot more to Lorgar than that. The destruction of Monarchia messed him up really bad, as did learning the origins of his birth and the Emperor's intentions. I know all that. I read the book. Very good book. One of my favorite parts of the book is that no one would ever explain anything to Lorgar. Whenever he got upset, they'd just say his name. It was funny. I couldn't stop laughing. Anyways, no, I know that. I know there's a lot of stuff built into why Lorgar did his thing. That was a very simplified version of of what I gave was a very simplified version because I'm not a Lorgar fan. he's annoying to me. But I understand how events fell into place to make him, like, I understand how it happened, but that doesn't mean I have to like him or respect what he did. Dude, honestly, Laga, like, honestly, every single time when, like, Monarchia was happening, it was just like, Lorgar. And he'd be screaming in the background, and everyone's just deadpan looking at him, Lorgar. Like, Magnus, when they're talking, and Lorgar is pissed. He's just, Lorgar. And I kid you not, if you read the book, almost every conversation he has with, like, his brothers or someone, like, about his level, it's just, they're just saying his name, and they're like, Lorgar, buddy. It's so funny to me just because he has just, like, a massive teenager moment where he's talking in all caps. It was kind of a bad situation for him, but I enjoyed it. Yeah, Erebus. Yeah, Erebus. We hate Erebus. He does deserve to get beat up. Oh, there's so many things. Anyways, I wanted to address that because I saw the message. I was like, oh, well, I'll just wait till Lorgar comes up on the screen.
At least I blame them for it. They're little assholes. You got the Black Legion with Primarch Horus. Get fucked, nerd. You've got the Alpha Legion with Primarch Alfarius Omegon. Chaos.
Yes.
I think. And then finally, you've got the Thousand Sons with Primarch Magnus the Nerd. Thousand Sons also have their own book just with the Death
Magnus
Guard.
the
Magnus
Nerd
is also a tabletop model.
can anyone explain why he has horns on his pecs? I don't, that was a choice, and it just seems so weird to me. Ooh. Like, it just, why? It just doesn't make sense. Like, you could put, like, there would have been cool if, like, he did horns, like, here, and it was, like, around his shoulders. That would have been nice. It looks like he has just horn tits. It's not a good look. Yeah, I mean, I guess they are intimidating. Get in the locker, Magnus. Do not disrespect the nipple horns. I don't know. I'm disrespecting. You'll never catch me. Actually, I'm not going to say that. Never mind.
He looks super cool, as you can tell, and they're all super heavily Psyker and kind of Egyptian theme.
I do like their theme. It's very cool. The blue and the gold, and I like the vibe. It's nice.
They look pretty neat, but overall, with all of these Chaos Space Marine factions, you can play as a lot of different ones, but the main ones that you can really work at are standard Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines, as well as the Death Guard and Thousand Sons, as they are the most fleshed out, especially on the tabletop at least. See this right here? This is a really good way to describe the Chaos Space Marines. What the thick-headed fools with their broken corpse of an emperor fail to understand is that not only can they never defeat us, but they cannot hide or flee or shield themselves from the triumph of chaos. They are finite and we are unbound, undivided. They must not err, or they shall fall to heresy. All who fall join our cause. Every imperial fool who dares to open his eyes is a willing recruit. They strive merely to hold back our fury and might, and it consumes them. Thus, you can see chaos is inevitable.
I am inevitable.
We lurk not only beyond their grasp and at their gates, we lurk within the darkness of their souls, on the tip of their tongues, in their tortured dreams. We are them, but freed from the shackles of ignorance. We are them, grown strong, evolved. We are them, but so much more. As hardcore as that quote is, the saddest part is they're mostly right. Chaos is basically unkillable. You can probably get rid of Space Marines, a decent amount, the Chaos Space Marines that is, but every soul that dies goes to the warp. every Chaos Soul will end up back in the warp. And depending on how hard you killed them, they will come back at some point. Every demon you banish will return at some point. Chaos is unstoppable. The warp is unending. And while maybe there is at some point some way to stop them somehow, the resources to do so, the requirements to do so, are so far beyond the reaches of man and the other races at the current moment that really it's just an unstoppable force that just keeps on coming and is just barely being slowed. Chaos is by far the biggest threat. They are without number, their legions are everywhere, and yeah, they're pretty scary.